To our floor show traders, Tom Hayes and Chris Robinson. All right, Tom, investors are asking a really legit question. What changed in the past 24 hours for the NASDAQ, and does it mark the very end of this pullback? And if so, what looks cheap to you now?
Yeah, well, Liz, I was on just over a week ago, and we said that the rate of change for the 10-year yield should slow. The catalyst was on Friday when Bank of Japan's Kuroda stopped widening the band, which leaves the 10-year JGB at zero relative to our 10-year yield, which is now at 155 basis points. The Japanese have been net sellers of treasuries for the last 5 years. Now they're going to be buyers. The stabilization of rates has helped tech bounce now. And we think the play moving forward is to buy those high-yielding stocks that have actually been hit in the last couple of months with rates rising. We particularly like utilities, staples, and big pharma. Tech can get a bounce, but keep in mind, moving into Q2, we're going to have very difficult comps coming forward for tech because they pulled forward a lot of growth last year. And the slow growth environment where they thrive is no longer present. We're going to have 7 to 9% GDP. So we're going to stick with those high yielders now that are going to be attractive with rates stabilizing. The 6 names we like all yield double what the 10-year yield is, all over 3%. American Electric Power and Dominion on the utilities. On big pharma, we like Pfizer and we like Merck. Both are working on antivirals. Merck's could potentially be out before the end of the year. We'll see. And staples, we still like a soup, snacks, and cereal with Kellogg and Campbell Soup. And we think that's going to be the play. They've bounced in the last week since, and we think they're going to persist for the next couple of months.
Well, Tom, I'm not hearing DocuSign. I'm not hearing Zillow or Trulio or Snowflake. So, Chris, you got to give me a sense. Are you done with the tech names, or do you get the feeling that there are some ones that have certainly gotten a lot cheaper and they're on discount?
Yeah, I think so. And, there's a broad base of stocks you can look at. I'm more of a big picture person. I look more towards the indexes. Trade the NASDAQ, as a index in itself. I would say this: no matter if you're buying individual stocks or if you're trying to buy dips in the NASDAQ, the key is you have to have your orders working before we have the dip. We've seen the volatility we've had regularly. You've had 2, 3, 4%, 5% moves down, and I think that is the number one caveat I would say. If you're looking to buy the dips, you have to have the orders working beforehand. And, big picture thing, where we're going to be in 3 or 4 months, I would imagine, once we get the stimulus. Again, there's $3 trillion sitting on the sidelines in cash. There's $3 trillion coming down the pipeline from stimulus. I don't know how that's not friendly long term. And I think your other guest was right. If you got to watch that 10-year yield, that's going to be the story coming in. And I think as long as the 10-year stays under 2%, you're still going to have money coming in buying these dips.
Well, I know, but, it's jumped pretty significantly. I mean, we're going to show you later what it's really done. And it's kind of stunning because, that is why David Kelly of JP Morgan is concerned about the unintended consequence of inflation. You're going to hear exactly what he sees now that we may not see. But for the moment, yeah, the 10-year yield's at 1.54%. Folks, with the NASDAQ at 518, we are looking at a session high of 537. So it kind of feels like we're crawling back there. Tom, Chris, we'll pull you back in a couple of days. It's great to see you. Thank you so much. And here are the NASDAQ winners.